I mean, you look at Usher and you think you've definitely been to a couple of naughty lady bars in your time, yeah.
Naughty lady bars. He's had some titties in his face. Naughty lady bars. Oh, fucking hell. Welcome back to Fried Gold. I'm Dan.
I'm Matt.
And we're going to review Hustlers. What did you think of Hustlers?
It was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought so. So Hustlers follows the true story, or it's inspired by the true story at least, of a group of strippers who basically, they would find ways to like con Wall Street customers, I guess, is the best way of describing it.
Yeah, but it's following the crash of 2008. Is it 8?
8, yeah.
So they lose a lot of their clientele and they are running out of money as a result. So they need to come up with their own way of making money and being able to afford a living. Because a lot of them have like their own motivations for doing so. The main chick, Constance Wu, she has like a grandmother to take care of, and later on she has a child. So there's a lot of meaning behind her actions.
The film does take place over multiple years. I think it starts as early as 2007 and then goes up until 2015, but it's not done, completely chronologically. It's kind of cuts between back and forth. And as well as that, the film is actually based on an article that was written about this. So you also have interspliced with that an interview being
in which the article
conducted.
is being forged from.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like back and forth, an interview or not an interview, but it's done well, I think. It never really feels choppy or out of order. It kind of just flows nicely.
Yeah, it only changes between like the events to the interview at appropriate points as well.
Yeah, the interview is kept to an absolute minimum as well. It's only a few scenes.
It's almost used in a way that says, okay, like what you just saw, that was chapter 1. Here's the next chapter.
Yeah, it's a framing device essentially. Yeah. It's like with The Princess Bride and the whole reading the book thing. And with this film, you do get like serious Wolf of Wall Street vibes, don't you?
To an extent, yeah. It never goes as deep as Wolf of Wall Street does.
No.
But it has a lot of those same factors, definitely.
It's really like high octane, kind of energetic feel to it of like this group of people trying to like make money and come up with schemes and stuff. And so the first maybe 2/3 of it was all like that, and then obviously you've got kind of the consequences in later.
Well, no, I was going to say it actually does take quite a while to get into the hustle. Like maybe even the first third of it.
Yeah, true.
A lot of it shows like their life before, during the hustle, and then the repercussions in the aftermath. Like,
yeah.
It's almost split into those 3 parts. They're not of equal length though. Like most of it is about them as they're performing the hustle per se.
Yeah.
But there's enough character development in the first third of the film to understand why everyone's doing it, their motivations, and like why they have ultimately decided to go down this route.
I think even though Constance Wu is the main character in here, really Jennifer Lopez is like the standout character. Mm-hmm. Like anytime she's on screen, it's just more fun, basically. Like
she makes an impact on me from the get-go.
Yeah, definitely. I think in a weird way, she kind of reminded me of Tyler Durden, and that she kind of comes into the protagonist's life, takes an interest in them and sweeps them up on this kind of journey.
Yeah, she's definitely the mentor role.
Yeah, but with that, she's also like the life of the party. Like where she's at is where everyone else wants to be, and
she is where all the characters aspire to be, and they look to her for guidance. But then, obviously, there is a downside to that. Every apparently perfect person, there is a negative side.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
There's always a flip side to that coin.
To be honest, I don't really have any negatives with this.
I have a couple. The only like major one being at times like it's a bit inconsistent in terms of like go and stop. The interesting stuff, like the hustle itself, at points in which it could be longer, it kind of skims over it. Right. And that's done in order to show like their progression, and like as they get better, they start earning more.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff like I wanted to see more of.
Yeah, so it kind of focused on the wrong stuff for you a little bit.
And I mean, I know why it went the way it did and why they decide ultimately to show like the people behind the hustle. But just as you think, oh, it's about to get going, it's about to get really interesting, they kind of just don't go into it as much as you would like. Well, for me, sometimes the characters weren't in it as much as I would have liked. The focus is definitely on Jennifer Lopez and Constance. But like they've got this whole group of girls together to help them with the hustle, and a couple of them do get like their moments to shine, and like they even show off like some of their character traits and breasts. But there are a lot that get brought in, and they're only in it for like maybe a couple of minutes.
Now that I think about it, the supporting crew could have done more.
Yeah. And it's a shame because when they are on screen, they shine. They do really well. And there's not like a single one that you don't like in which you're not meant to like.
Yeah.
I just wish that there'd been more to them.
Yeah,
or like more to their side of the story.
You don't really feel like you know the rest of them by the end of the film, do you? You still feel like you only really know the main two. So, yeah, I can see that. But other than that, for me, I think it was pretty much like everything I wanted from it, I got. So
yeah, it's not a perfect movie by any means. But in terms of like just a bit of fun, like a good time, like I think it's
2 hours.
It's just under 2 hours. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's just like 1 hour 47. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, as I said to you, it feels longer, but I think that's just because of everything that's in the film.
It did feel long, but at the same time, not necessarily in the bad way. I was never bored.
Oh no, I was never bored. I didn't want.
It just felt longer than 1 hour 47.
Yeah, I didn't want it to end. But yeah, it just. I guess there were a couple of issues with flow, perhaps, but
yeah, I mean, also there are a lot of like celebrity cameos in this, like music-related ones, like Cardi B and Usher, and I've heard people kind of complain about that and say that it doesn't kind of feel like justified or whatever. For me personally, it never felt like an issue because they work at this high-end strip club where celebrities could, if Wall Street people are going in, there's no reason celebrities couldn't go in anyway, and they weren't bad at acting and they were kept brief. So for me, that never really bothered me.
Yeah, in a way, it just adds that sense of legitimacy for what you're seeing.
Yeah, like adds to the kind of grandeur of it all. Yeah. It's not like a super serious film as well. Like it could be with the premise that it has, but it takes a fairly light-hearted tone. There were some laughs to be had. It's not like a comedy or anything like that, but there were a fair few scenes where, like hijinks is going down or there's just like crazy scenarios and like people in the cinema were laughing at it. It's not. I would almost say this film, in every respect, is like a kind of watered down version of The Wolf of Wall Street because it's got a very similar tone, very similar subject matter, but it doesn't go as hard. It's not as funny. The acting's not as good, but it's still all good.
As in depth enough as well. Like you only see like what is a percentage of what they would have been up to at this time,
but it's still all good enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say we would definitely recommend seeing Hustlers.
I would, yeah. It's not a must-see, but it's definitely a good time, like, if you have nothing to do.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And that's our thoughts on Hustlers. If you've seen it, let us know what you thought about it down in the comments below.
We have just started a Twitter account as well, and it's at gold_fried, so make sure you follow that if you want to keep up with us. We'll be posted on there sometimes, so check that out if you want. And we've also got a joint Letterboxd account called Fried Gold Media, all one word, so make sure you follow that as well if you're on Letterboxd.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We appreciate it so much. Thank you for the 400 subscribers and counting.
Thanks for the 420 subscribers.
Woo! Please!
Kinda didn't want to get any more after that.
Yeah, we should have just finished.
Yeah. Can 10 of you unsubscribe, please?
No!
Thanks for watching this video, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.